Hello YouTube and welcome to Random Asian Productions. We are back and today we are playing Sins of the Prophets, which is a Halo RTS mod more or less for Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion. I love this mod because ignore that. I really like Halo for, well, mainly for space purposes and story purposes up until Halo 4, which is where I got off the boat. But it's okay. So what we're going to do today is we're going to play a match against the Covenant. It's going to be a 1v1 kind of situation, and there's not going to be any flood, because fuck the flood. Turn that off. Forget the flood. We don't want the flood in up on this biatch. We're going to do Capital Victory? It's probably not a good idea, but we're going to do Capital Victory. It gives me a better chance of winning, because if I can just deep strike into Covenant territory and take out the capital, I can win. But then again, that also means that if I lose my capital, I'll lose. You know, actually, let's not do that. Okay, create lobby. So we're only going to do a 1v1, which is kind of boring, especially, you know, it's a medium map. It might be a little big for this. But it's okay. If it's too boring, I'll just restart. We'll make it interesting. We'll make it a heroic AI, which means they're probably going to kick my ass. They're probably going to kick my black guys, but it's okay. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Purple. That one will work. They're probably going to kick my ever-living butt, but it's okay. We're going to make them aggressive, so that way they'll likely attack us quicker. This is probably not going to go well, but that's okay. Let's do this. Okay. This is the beginning of sort of a series, so be aware of that. I'm pretty sure this isn't going to end in like one episode, so... Alright, we are in. Hello, everybody. We're in. Alright, first off, I just like to say, beautiful freaking models. Whoops, I cut its nose off. There we go. This is a Razor class Prowler. It's a type of Prowler. It is badass. And it's also your scout, so go! Go, my children. Okay, so what do we start? We start on Bliss. I don't know what that is, but we're on Bliss. We've got two carriers, or two ships. We have a Marathon class heavy cruiser, which looks fucking beautiful. We're going to give it Shiva nuclear warheads and disable them from auto firing because we're not in the middle of any wars. And I'm going to give them interceptors. And then we're going to go here. And we have a that name, though. The UNSC Contagious Laughter. That's adorable. Okay, you're going to get 2 interceptors and a bomber squadron and colonizing because, well, you're my colony ship, basically, so you're going to do that. Now, my scouts are out scouting and doing their thing. There's a frozen planet, which I can't actually colonize yet, which kind of sucks. Bears, but just okay. I'll build a couple more Razors, because it's always good to have Razors, and some Paris-class ships to escort my big fleet. Only Prowler online. Only Prowler online. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so, you guys, go scout. Sorry, I was completing a text conversation there. My bad, guys. I didn't mean to ignore you. Okay, so, we got Marathon class design, which allows us to build them, even though we've already got one. Don't ask. Now, what we want is... I can't remember where it is. It's in here someplace. I think it's under Industry. New Horizons. There we go. We want to get that because then we can colonize the ice planet we found over here, which has got a lot of very useful things attached to it. Why didn't you guys go anywhere? You going? Yeah, there you go. Oops. Sorry, Commander. Yeah, that's right. You better be sorry. Butthead. Okay, get over here. Okay, so we got our ships. Got our... Jeez, look at those Mac guns sticking out the front. That's beautiful. It's freaking beautiful. God, this is a very nice models in this mod. Of course, you know, fighters always clip through stuff. That's not their fault. Here's the Paris class frigate, which was the class introduced in Halo Reach. Yes, Halo Reach. Had more guns here, I think. You can see it. Obviously, it had more guns, but, you know.
UNSC forces have engaged the enemy.
Oh, scouting parties engaged the enemy, huh? I don't know what that means. Okay, we've got 5 frigates, a couple carriers, and 2 smaller light frigates over here at Para. I don't know what that means. This one's pretty undefended. This is probably like your starter planet, so we're going to head that way first. We're also going to convert this into a fleet and do that, which allows them to move in unison. I still don't have that planet scouted. What is going on? Go scout, please. Did you join this fleet? You did. No, you're not supposed to be a part of this fleet. Get out of the fleet, guys. You're not supposed to be a part of this fleet. Oh my goodness. Freaking prowlers. Get out of here, boys. Scoot out of here yonder. Get out of here, guys. Silly goofballs. And there's the flagship, the Contagious Laughter. What was the name of the other one? The Prince of Thieves. Isn't that a Disney movie? Probably. So the reason we give them Shiva nuclear warheads is because it's a very effective weapon against very condensed enemy ships, which is good. We like blowing up condensed enemy ships. What do we got there? Volcanic planet. Okay, we don't know that one yet. Don't have too much info yet. We're about to get info on that planet. Methane planet. Okay, nothing too special. We're going into combat. Oh yeah, I forget. You can turn off all this shit. I forget how you do that, though. What's the buttons? It's like Control Shift. It's like Control Shift Z or something. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. You can turn off all the UI and just admire your beautiful ships. There's also a way to toggle the cinematic camera, which just turns off all the other stuff in the background, like the little icons and stuff, I think. Toggle cinematic camera. There it is. See, it turns off all those things. Now I have no idea where my ships are.
The rebellion ends now.
The rebellion ends now. Pretty freaking cool, right? Taking some screens because we need some screenshots for this episode's thumbnail. There we go. Wow, that's pretty cool when it lights those engines up. Like, wow. To tell you to just go that way. Just taking a bunch of random screenshots. Okay. One of those will be good enough, I'm sure. Let's turn this back on. Yeah. Boom. Oh, by the way, for those of you who've never played this before, basically, those of you who don't know what Halo is, which I doubt there are many of you, but if you don't know what Halo is essentially a science fiction shooter game that sort of created a genre of shooters or something. It was a big deal back in the day, the old one. There's a lot of them now. I think we're up to Halo 5, I think. I don't know. Like I said, I dropped off the series after 4. No particular reason. I just, I don't know. I guess 4 just rubbed me the wrong way, so I dropped off of it. There's some good things that came out of that one, I suppose, but meh. Don't care. Oh yeah, I always forget. This is the first thing I always like to do, is build heavy defenses to protect my place, which are these smack stations. They're super OP. Tactical stations. What's our limit? 40. My God. Okay, so we can build a maximum of 40. We don't necessarily need saber hangars. We do need one of these, so we can build. Basically, I can easily build a lot of these. How much of these? 900 and 120. Oh, I've got plenty. Okay, these are smack stations. Now, it's kind of deceiving because I think they've upgraded the model, which I appreciate, actually. I like the new model. I usually build them in battle groups, which is kind of actually reminiscent of the Halo games. This is kind of how they were done. They were built in little battle units like this. Like little battle squads, and they kind of had overarching fields of fire, kind of like that. It's kind of confusing, though, because the picture is of the old one, the old smack cannon from the game, Halo 2. But when you actually look at it, it looks completely different, because this is, I think, supposed to be a more modernized variant of the Super Smack Station, or the Orbital Defense Platform, as it's called. It's interesting because it looks kind of like it has 2 MAC guns instead of the one that it's supposed to have, so that's kind of neat. But I usually build these early because they take like a decade and a half to come online because you have to build all kinds of like ground facilities and shit or something. So they take a long time to become fully operational, but they are extraordinarily overpowered. And when I say overpowered, I mean they're weak as shit when you actually shoot at them, because they only got 2,000 hull. But what I'm implying is they're quite resilient. I don't know what I'm trying to say. They're really strong, is what I'm trying to say. Their gun is ridiculously powerful, if I can see it. Yeah, you can see it there. 1,333 Mach damage versus, let's see, one of my capital ships. Let's pick the Marathon, because it's sort of the warship. 42 Mach damage. 42 Mach damage. You can see it's a big difference. These are the homesteads of their defensive platforms, and they can pretty much wipe out just about anything, as long as there's enough of them. I usually set them up like that first, and then I usually, like, interlace another, like, 2 inside the battle group and make it, like, 5. Because I like an OP defense grid. I know you shouldn't cluster them all, like, right next to each other. But, generally speaking, the 2 most likely hostile routes would be straight there or straight there. This could be hostile, too, but we're going to make this like a holdout planet or something. This planet's going to be kind of off by its own there. We find any enemies yet, by the way? No. Any weird planets? There's a Mew. Doesn't look like there's any particularly weird planets. You can find, I think you can find halos and stuff like that out in the distance somewhere. I'm not quite sure what those planets do, but they do something. Figure it out one day. Okay, here we go. We're actually going to select you because we're going to use your Shiva warhead on somebody. We're going to nuke a bitch. Pardon my language. Here's a group. Nuke him. It works really effectively against unshielded ships. I'm just going to give you an idea what the nuke looks like here. Okay, so we're going to nuke him. Just wait. He should launch it. Whoa, there it is. There's the nuke.
Planet-side infrastructure complete.
Whoop. And boom. And you can see it took out 3 ships. This ship got kind of fucked up, but he didn't actually die. Now, the UNSC have a perk of being more of a first strike kind of characters because of their MAC guns. They're more about hitting the enemy hard initially and then kind of picking up the pieces of whatever happens to be left over after the fight, more than they're not really about like sitting there and slugging it out ship to ship with their missiles and stuff. They're more about show up and blow the shit out of somebody real quick and then leaving, or just cleaning up whatever's left, kind of a thing. Which is why we may have to pull out of here, because although we do technically they launched a missile. Oh dear, that's bad. And he's dead. Tactical nukes, everybody. They're the favorite of America. Or humanity. Same difference. These are actually these were actually used by the UNSC at one point. Not because they're human ships, but because I think they were actually using this model as a ship. But eventually they replaced them with this ship, I think. No, not this ship. They replaced it with something. I don't remember. This is like the light version, like the cruiser variant. Only reason we're winning is because these 2 ships are a lot tankier than the other ships are. Requires warhead overhaul research, which we don't have. So we're going to go with hard burn, which I think just gives them a really, really good turn speed. And we took it over. So move on up there.
The rebellion ends now.
I'm sorry if this is a terrible introduction to this mod. I just, I'm a little tired right now. It was a long day at work, and it's kind of hot. It's really hot. So I'm just sort of meandering along here, trying to not fall asleep, to be honest. We're actually going to get these, a couple of those, because we need a bigger fleet, to be perfectly honest. We also need better ships. Oh yeah, this is the Infinity. If you've ever played Halo 4, you know what the Infinity is. If you haven't played Halo 4, then don't. But, then don't. Yeah, well, you can if you want. It's not a terrible game. It's not a bad game by any standards, but, it's not the best game in the world. Oh yeah, I forgot. I totally noobed it up over here. You are also supposed to do these, upgrades and stuff on planet. Deuterium. Curse you, Deuterium. I'm just gonna wrong button. I'm gonna buy some so I can just finish these planets up real quick. Nope. Nope.
Orbital structure.
What is this? Got 28 and 28. Not bad, not bad. Oh, by the way, this is actually a DLC. Is the outlaw sectors. Basically, it produces outlaw ships that sit around in your systems, which is kind of cool. It's kind of weird, but it's kind of cool nonetheless that you get these sort of like free defense ships that float around in your space to try and help you out, which is kind of cool. It's also kind of annoying because then you've got ships sitting all over the freaking place. It gets kind of confusing, but it's okay. These are our research stations, the Miseratraxis and Technica Hotan, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, my word. I cannot speak most days, so you're going to have to just, you know, roll with it. I'm not sure how well fortified this planet will be allowed to be. UNSC cannot afford your request at the moment. You know what? Fuck you. I don't care. Sorry. Like, screw you, I don't care if you can't afford it. Oh, there's a strange station.
Research order.
The Whoa. Yeah, there's Wormhole Station. It's kind of cool. That's one of the weird ones you can find. One of the weird. I don't know if that's mods. I don't know if that's actually mod specific. I don't think wormholes are. I think wormholes are in the base game. I don't know if they actually look like this in the base game though, or if that's made by the mod developers. It kind of looks like a Halo object, so I'm going to assume it's made by the mod devs, but I don't know. If any mod devs happen to pop along on this video, please let me know. Is that something you guys made, or is that just the thing that just is there? It would be helpful to know. So we're gonna get this, and we kind of want to get destroyers actually. The reason we want destroyers is because they're actually much stronger than our Paris-class frigates, because these are anti-fighter ships, which are these three here. These two, plus the Paris-class, are all frigates. The Paris is kind of the more standard combat ship. Then you've got the Stalwart class, which is more of an anti-fighter, jack-of-all-trades-ish kind of ship. And then you've got the Sharon, which is more of a invasion ship. It's designed to go attack planets. So they're not very good in space combat. The Destroyer, on the other hand, it's got some teeth. Let's say that it's got some teeth. And then, of course, the Halcyon cruisers are well, they're Halcyon cruisers. They're cruisers makes them strong. They're tough. They are actually no, not that. They are actually right here, which you can actually just build them. You don't need to build them from a cruiser shipyard, hero yard like this. Oh, there's the Prowler. This is a special kind of Prowler. It's got pulse weapons. I'm not sure why it has pulse weapons, but it has pulse weapons. It's kind of cool. You got the Punic-class Supercarrier, which is a really big ship. The Artemis-class Battlecruiser, which I think is the mobile Supermac, basically. I say basically. It's not technically a mobile Supermac, but it might as well be. The Epoch Heavy-class Carrier. I don't know what that is. That's just another carrier. They have a lot of carriers. There's the Valiant Super Heavy Cruisers. This is supposed to be like a flagship-ish kind of ship. So there's a lot of ships in this game. Okay, there's a lot of ships. I always keep a mix of ships because it's a little bit more balanced that way. Unfortunately, I'm broke as all heck, so we're just gonna wait. Increase game speed. Give me all that delicious money. But anyways. Building some stalwarts. Or stalwarts. Those are Paris. Build a couple Paris. Build 2 stalwarts. A couple stalwarts, actually. And build a few of these. I have to wait for the research on those, so that's going to take longer. And just build 2 of Sharons, because why not? And build a couple more of those. The Parises are more like cannon fodder ships than anything, to be honest. Anchor Station is your starbase. If you ever played this game, you can build a starbase, which is pretty cool. The starbase is pretty tanky. Not quite as tanky as it could be, but, you know, that's what you're going to do. By the way, on a different note, the biggest disadvantage the UNSC has versus the Covenant is that the Covenant actually sports shields on their ships, which are very, very powerful thing. It makes everything really difficult when you have shields on things. Okay, we've got our fleet going. You see here we have our destroyers, which are cool looking, actually. They look kind of weird when you look at them because they don't really match the same aesthetic as the rest of the ships, because the rest of the ships are kind of blocky looking. And you got these sleek mother truckers up in this place. That's okay. They're still cool. Okay, we got our little fleet going here. Make sure we're moving in a group. Let's go take Christopher. Yeah, that's the best I got on that pronunciation. Actually, that's not even close to the best I got, but that's okay. Here it is. Power generator construction. This is the thing that makes them take forever. But you can see, it looks really cool, doesn't it? It looks modern. I mean, if you've ever played Halo, you've seen... hold on, let's slow this back down before we get attacked by something. Because in the Halo 2, this station was a little different. If you look at the... It's kind of hard to show you because I don't actually have a proper picture of it. I'll pop it on screen. I'll put it on screen, like off to the right here. That's like the original. That's what it used to look like. You can see it's got those kind of rounded bits on it. So it's kind of like what they did is they... Whoops. It's kind of like they cut the rounded bits off and then just made it boxy. And then it's like they strapped an extra gun to it. Because I believe the original one only had the one Mac. Or at least it looks like it only has one Mac. So, I mean, I like it. It looks pretty... I think it looks cool. But, you know, personal opinions aside, it's pretty cool. An orbital command, this is really helpful. It increases like combat effectiveness and shit. We'll put that next to our shipyards. Increases the combat effectiveness of the local battle groups, which is very helpful actually. One thing I also note that's kind of cheesy is if you put repair ships next to these, it will repair the MAC stations. Well, it's not cheesy. It's actually really helpful. So that's one way if you want to.
Where am I needed, Commander?
If you want to sort of basically have these stations but make sure that they don't get destroyed very easily, that's one thing you can do. It's helpful. It can be helpful at least. Upgrade the nuke. I think it just decreases. I don't know if it actually does it make the damage any higher? I can't remember. Yeah, that's all the effects the nuke has. It has a lot of effects. It does a lot of weird stuff.
A new colony has been founded.
Can be fired multiple different yields. Well, that makes sense. Explore planets. Now, you also want to explore planets because exploring planets gives you a good chance of finding artifacts. And artifacts can be very helpful in this game. You can't colonize that, but we're going to go take it. Hold on a second. There's a Covenant scout. It appears all my scouts have died, so we're going to actually build a few more. This is one thing you'll notice a lot, that if I play these games and I'm playing and I'm like scouting, a lot of times my scouts will all get massacred and I won't realize it until like ages later, which is bad because I won't realize that I totally have no scouts looking for the enemy for like the longest time. It's kind of sad. Okay, 28 capacity. So we've got a lot of money, so we're gonna actually build a big ass MAC grouping here because this is what I call a key planet in defending the capital, because this planet has one line of entry, which makes it like a chokehold. If the enemy wants to come this way, they have to come through here. You see here, there's like 3 different attack points, which makes this planet also kind of critical because it's holding down 3 different attack routes. Usually the way I go is I usually fortify the capital and then fortify 2 planets past the capital, so like these 2 basically. And I'll probably fortify that one too because it's down there, but basically I'll fortify the capital, fortify these 2 planets, and then usually everything from there gets basic fortifications but doesn't get as many fortifications because they're farther out and they're more of like cannon fodder, I suppose you could say. Not exactly cannon fodder, but sort of. So we're going to do that and then go doop, 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 doop. I'm not sure how many that was. That was 18. So we can build one more thing, which is going to be the orbital command, which is just kind of sitting that battle group there. Oh no, actually we can build more, can't we? Because we can build 28, wasn't it? Yeah, it was 28. We can build 28. We're actually going to build a couple of these labs back here. Get this place going. And you see that is a more effective battle grouping. Like that. That's a lot more effective. That's usually what I do. I don't really know why I built them like this over here. This isn't my standard battle group design. I kind of just flubber-nugged that one up. Kind of weird. I don't know why I built it that way, to be honest.
Inbound UNSC reinforcements.
But usually I do this where I build them off to the side like that, and then I build, you know, attach extras onto them like that. That's usually how I build my battle groups. I'm not really sure why I built it this way, to be honest. Kind of confused, actually, as to why I did that. I'm actually going to scuttle these ones that I built in the middle there because I didn't mean to put those there, actually. Kind of confused. I think I just had a moment of bleh, and I zoned. So just blow those ones up. It's okay. Go there, there, and I don't think I can place any more right now because I'm already, yeah, I'm almost maxed. So we're gonna blow those two up. We'll leave this sort of a. Actually, hold on a second. Don't break that one. Toggle. Don't scuttle. Don't scuttle. Don't scuttle. Scuttle these ones. These ones are farther out, so we'll scuttle them instead. Keeps the battle group looking a little bit nicer. It's a little more condensed there. Yeah, I have a system. There's a system. A very good system of how I build stuff. So I can build more there. We'll probably build some sabers or something there. Now, see, this one is problematic because there's a lot more space. And I have doubts on exactly. Yeah, it only holds 28, unfortunately. Which is problematic because there's a lot more space to defend here. So what we're going to do is boop, 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 boop,
Orbital structure
boop,
complete.
like that. So that's 5. So we can build another. You're gonna build another 5.
Research order complete.
We can build 9 more. We can build 9 more
Planet
gun
side
stations. So these ones are going to be in pairs of 2. Like that. Okay. So that's that bunch. Then we want you in the middle because you're there. We're going to put a second station there. And then we'll put one more here. We're out of titanium. Buy some titanium. Sell a shit ton of deuterium. Jesus, we have a lot of deuterium. And one more station there. And there's our defense for that one. These ones are just in the middle to cover that center space. So that way we have a little coverage everywhere. We've taken this area, which we can't do anything with because these are pre-built Forerunner object things. So we're going to go that way to the volcanic planet, which we can't colonize because we don't have the research to colonize it. I think we need that, I think.
Orbital structure complete.
That's helpful. We could use that. That's helpful. Is that a 2-time upgrade?
Orbital structure
it is.
complete.
Common cause. This is that thing where it unifies and a lot of things become cheaper. Oh yeah, this is important research too. There's a lot of important research in this game, just, you know, on the down low.
Insufficient titanium alloy.
There's a lot of very important research in this game, and you really need to do most of it. So, pay attention. Now, see, if my max stations had been online, that DRPL cruiser would be dead. I don't know if that's a scout, though. I think that's actually a combat ship, which is a problem. It's okay, these guys will probably take care of it. And that's what the advantage of having those in the around is. Now, you'll see here that those beams are going to tear this guy a new butt here. Yeah, not good. Now, they have a lot more hull than the Covenant ships, but the Covenant ships have shields. This guy's got fucked up, though, somewhere. I don't know what happened to him, but he got messed up at some point. So, what are you going to do? I do need to expand rather quickly, because if I stay locked in this corner, the Covies are going to take, like, over everything, and then I'm all be stuck here. Speaking of Covenant, let's actually go look for those guys. We might want to do that. You can see how these guys are all coming this way, because they're like, oh god, we're under attack, and they're sending troops out to help. Now, honestly, though, if this Mac station had been online, he'd be dead already. Because he would have come in to attack the Mac station, and would have pretty much got one-shotted, almost, probably. He would have been owned, is all I'm saying. But, unfortunately, the Mac stations are not running just yet, because I just built them. So I just built them, so we're running a little low. So, although this place won't have any fighters defense, I mean, it could. I could just delete these. But I'm going to keep those all there for Mac gun defense purposes. So, that planet's fairly fortified. These guys are en route to another place to conquer more stuff.
What I know of war.
What do you know of war? Now we need both of those actually. So a lot of things, like I said, lots of upgrades, lots of very important upgrades, are all very important. The Valiants, the Eon class carriers, the Halcyons. Halcyons are very important actually. Warhead overhaul, there we go, that's what we want. The Halcyons are important because they're kind of like your cheap heavy cruisers. Also, a thing I like to try and do is keep all of my research stations to the back. So like I try and build all my research stations on these back planets. So that way, hopefully, the enemy won't be able to actually destroy all of them before they get to me. So that way the enemy won't be able to actually destroy all of them before they get here, kind of a thing. Generally speaking. Also, I have a system, which is I put trade ports on pretty much everything, because I'm not actually sure if it decreases or not. I think it's supposed to. If you build trade ports on everything, I think it decreases the actual trade income you get, but I'm not positive.
Orbital structure complete.
And then I usually build refineries solely on planets that have, like this ice planet, that have more than like 1 or 2 of these resource points. And then I go here, I build a refinery there, and I run out of money there. And build a trade port next to it, because why not? Did I upgrade this planet? I did not upgrade this planet. We're going to run out of money, though. As always, we run out of money. It's always about the money. It's always about the money. Anyways, we're about the half-hour mark, so that means I got to end this episode. So we've begun our expansion. There's all my recon ships heading out. We're in the midst of a big gunfight right here. There we go. Okay. So you can see they're all shooting, firing, blowing things up. It's pretty cool, actually, all these little ships.
Orbital structure complete.
Turning their engines on. Yeah. Look at them. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful sight. Beautiful sight. Look at those boxes. Look at how boxy that is in comparison to like how sleek the front looks. It's got that like armor plating and stuff. It's all sleek. And then the back, boxes for engines. But, you know, it's alright. Anyways. So I'll see you guys in the next episode where we will continue our expansion and probably get into some really horrible fights down the line here. So, yeah. I'll see you guys in the next episode of Sins of the Prophets. Thank you for watching, and peace. Hey, thanks for watching my video. If you really liked it, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, hitting that nice little button in the center there. And if you'd like to support the channel, make sure to hit up the Patreon link in the description below. Follow me on Twitter for all future updates. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.